Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. Let's do this, guys. We are trying something we've never done before. We are watching Colbey Northcutt's fight. They just popped up. It is about to go live right now. If you guys have not gotten it, go to bleacherreport.com. And
they're playing it live on TNT, I think.
No, that's later on. It doesn't go on TNT. The later one goes at 10 p.m. The second half of it goes. So she's going to be the opening part of the lead card. So right now we are watching it. So if you guys want to watch that with us, let's do that. Let's support
Courtney Martin. It's a 3 5-minute rounds.
Yep.
Bouts judged in its entirety. What does it say here? No kicks to the head off grounded opponent. Makes sense. Okay.
You might be a little bit behind me, man.
Maybe
I'm already on the Courtney has come out already on the our intro right now.
I'm not there. So we'll just kind of go off of kind of what you're watching and what
but you can move it a little bit. It should be all right.
Yeah, that should be good.
Yep. Right. But yeah, guys, so again, as we're getting started and before Colbey comes out, we're just going to do this, something different, and hopefully you guys are watching with us and watching Colbey because this is a big fight for her. She hasn't fought in over a year. This is her second fight in ONE FC, and it's going to lead. You know, she does a good one. She'll probably be able to be on the TNT card the next time. You know,
right? And this is a big deal. I mean, she's a sport karate, phenom. She's won multiple world championships. She's a friend of the show. She was a guest on the show. So obviously someone we want to get around to support, much like we did with Raymond. But for anybody else, we've never had them live while one of us was doing a show. This is pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is going to be cool. So what weight class did it say this was? Is it 125, 135?
That I don't know.
Yeah. I didn't catch that. But yeah, and guys, before we go, we are sponsored by the Virtual Fight Tour. Yep. It is going to be May 28th. All right, this is a catch weight, so it's kind of
I think it's May 29th.
Yes, Virtual May 29th. Sorry, May 29th.
I can't wait to talk about that one later. I got.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun talking about that. So make sure you guys support Virtual Fight Tour, man. Like they said earlier, it's almost been a year now, so pretty cool.
Pretty cool stuff. Nowhere. It's only going to get bigger.
That's right. All right, guys. So I know this is a little early for us. So I know we're probably having
right. Some of our guys are probably looking at their notifications like, what? But no, we're there. It looks like Martin is already in the cage.
Colbey is coming out right now. She has the American flag, holding it high up in the sky. Let's see. I'm going to just turn it a little bit so I can hear.
Yeah, what's her song she's coming out to? I wonder if Exhibit made a song for her like he did for Ray, which was cool, by the way. Yeah. That was super cool. One of his last Bellator kickboxing fights, he did that. So what song is she coming out to?
I don't know. It just ended on me. So
all right, well, that's cool. That's all right. We're watching
all right.
She's jamming to whatever it is. She's got the flag wrapped around her. She's ready to go. She's throwing air punches. Man, she looks into it. She is ready to rock.
See what's going on.
Yeah, I don't remember see her this jacked up. She definitely looks jacked up.
Yep, she's ready.
Now, we obviously know the advantages that she brings to the MMA world because of her point fighting background. But I think one of the other unique things is her length that she's going to have. I mean, her length has always been an advantage that she's had. I think so much for this because she's not at like a cruiser or welterweight. I mean, she's at a lower weight class. I think, what did you say? Like, it's the catch weight, but both of them are like, 120s, 130s. And she is, she's going to be long for that. Right now, her and Raymond are embracing each other. It looks like he's whispering something to her ear as they're coming up. She's walking right into the cage right now. She's getting checked. Says she has an undefeated pro kickboxing card. I didn't know she was a member of the Black Belt Hall of Fame. Did you know that?
Yeah. She was the member. Probably I think 2014, maybe 2015.
All
Yep.
right.
Yeah, she won tons of titles. So
You should be. Are you in the Black Belt Hall of Fame? You should be in the Black Belt Hall of Fame.
No, I haven't done enough for that yet.
You should be in the
So,
Black Belt Hall of Fame. I think
one
the
day.
only way I'm getting in is if all of a sudden we become so amazing that we're like Master Ken or something.
That's right.
So it's another whole nother thing.
That's awesome. All right.
We'll have another hashtag, Jeff Doss, Black Belt Hall of Fame. Anyway, here we are. We got them both up here, both 28. So it says that Colbey is a karate style. Courtney's a freestyle. She looks like she's from Australia. Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And they're in Singapore right now, which is like one of the melting pots of the world. They have so many different cultures there, which is interesting. I had a buddy of mine that lived there for a number of years. So he said, yeah, and he said the number one language they speak there is English, which is super cool.
There we go. Yeah, she explained that as well when she was on the show.
Right. That's right. Here we are. Courtney's getting jacked. Looks like she's repping. Was it RVCA? Courtney's got on her shirt just straight up, "This is war." All right. Let's see what we see here. Her nickname, Courtney's nickname is No Mercy. No Mercy Martin. All right. Wow. She's pumped up. Now they've never fought each other before, that's for sure.
No, not at all. All right. This is great. Of course, I'm having issues with it over here.
That's okay. I'll go with it as much as I can. All right. Looks like they're announcing Colbey right now. She's got her arms out for you guys just listening. She's got her arms out, just completely spread. And she looks like she has an 18.5-foot wingspan when she does that. My freaking goodness. All right. Yep. She's getting ready to go. I couldn't believe how long her arms are. Can you believe that?
I know, dude. It's insane.
That was ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, obviously, you got to know the strategy from the other side is, all right, get inside, it's got to be get inside, take her down. So we got to have to see like what's her ground game going to be like. I mean, if she was training, obviously not if, but she had been doing some rounds in training with Ray, and his ground game stepped up immensely. So let's see what we see here. All right, they just touched gloves. They went back. They're about to ring the bell.
Yep, I see it. All right, here we go.
Round one.
Yep, I'm about 15 seconds in.
Are you ready? They're calling each other. Boom, the fight is on.
I'm like 15 or 20 seconds ahead of you. But
then I'll let you call
it. Well, yeah, so Colbey's back is against the cage right now.
Yeah, I see that one.
So girl's trying to take her down. She just took her down. She's in half guard right now. Colbey is about to get back to full guard. Dude, those long legs, it's, Colbey has been, just like her and Shay, have been wrestling and doing jiu-jitsu for a long time, not just stand-up. So
right.
She looks calm, though. Girl's working for her arm, trying to get that wrist control, throwing some elbows. She is almost at side mount. Colbey's, all right, here we go. About to stand back up. All right, Colbey has her against the cage now.
Yeah, you are
looking good. All right, getting that pressure up against the cage. Again, looking calm. I see a little bruising from that leg kick. All right, here we go. That knee straight up. That's what Colbey's great at, throwing those knees, those kicks. Here we go. So this is a 3-round fight. So not 5-round, not a championship round one. Oh, now I got pause too, man. Here we go. Oh, Colbey's back on her back. Oh, trying to find an armbar. It looks like. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh. Colbey looks really calm from here. So
Yeah,
too worried.
she's on her back and just doesn't look like it bothers her one. Oh, she's about to. Oh my gosh, she looks like she's about to get her. She's about to get her arm locked.
Here we go.
Dang! Her
Here we
ground game is good.
Nope, tap. And she got it. All right.
Good tapper.
Nice. Beautiful.
That did not take long. You and I were talking like, what if it goes the distance plus stoppage?
Right.
Nope.
It was great. Here we go. Raymond got her up.
Look at that.
Awesome. Crying. That's so cool, man. Congrats, Colbey.
And then you know what her opponent was thinking, because you YouTube, you see your opponent. Never would you think like, oh yeah, I got to worry about her ground game. I got to worry about her tapping me.
Right.
Colbey didn't really get struck.
No.
That fight, like at all.
Yeah, that was great. I'm glad she ended it early because all of a sudden my app just refreshed. Yeah. Oh man, this is great stuff. So another big win for her. Sage was supposed to be on this card, but I think got injured. He was supposed to fight Shinya Aoki, which would, that's a legendary fight for him.
Yeah.
Aoki is one of the greats in that lightweight division. So
I want to see him get back to it again because, that would be amazing if they were both on the same card. But
that was the plan. So they're shooting for that. That's what I know the UFC always wanted to do. One has it to where they are able to do it now. So pretty cool stuff. What do you think overall? I
was really impressed with her game. And I got to feel like, I don't know if it was like, obviously it's intentional, but I don't know how much her plan was like, I'm not going to lead. I'm not going to give her a long kick.
Right.
Not going to give her a long kick. And I was thinking about it right after we watched Thug Rose switch and knock the other girl out. I was like, dude, Thug Rose can do that. Of course, Colbey can do that.
Right. Of course.
But no, she had great game plan. Bring her inside. Don't let her mess with you. Wow. Just never really got struck. Just glancing stuff from when she was up on the cage. Nothing that's going to affect her at all. Wow.
No. And it just shows her well-rounded game again, and just a great camp that she's with. And also something I remember watching Colbey in her earlier fights years ago when she was an amateur and even some of her kickboxing matches was she would get a little frustrated, and you could tell she was playing those games in her head. And this was just her just being really calm and relaxed. So was awesome to see, man. Just congrats. I know she's in a great place right now. Her and Raymond, they're doing this together, and it's pretty amazing, and I think Sage is out there as well trained with them. So they're all working around the same kind of camp and with the same people. I know like what she was saying before, she's, helping working at the karate school as well. So they got it all, they're working together. She has, probably a little bit longer plans than Raymond does. Maybe. I don't know, who knows?
Not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 28. I don't know. Does she want to pop out kids?
Yep. That's right. So we will see how it goes. But man,
she could continue the fighting now. When you're gonna have kids, like you should just be done.
Right. Misha Tate right now is just coming back. She's about to come back this summer after having 2 kids. So
I don't know how you do that. That's
she's in great shape, man. So she still had some time left on her contract with UFC. She was working as actually for one as an administrator. And so she had to go back. She just left Singapore and move over there. So pretty cool just to see something different from us. Hopefully you guys can go back and watch from the beginning of what we were watching. Or if you're listening today on the podcast, again, make sure you go out, check out her Colbey's great just ground game and just the way she was relaxed. So that was her second win. The first time she won a unanimous decision.
Show, man.
Yeah.
You believe that?
I know. So pretty cool stuff. If you guys haven't checked them out, ONE FC comes on at 10 p.m. on TNT. So they have a lot of different stuff. And
Eddie Alvarez fighting. Everybody knows him.
Yep. And
we're watching them go fight and throw some kicks right now.
Yep. So pretty cool stuff. Figured we'd do something different. And then we're going to talk about her fight either way. So we just told you right then. So guys, who are some people that you thought could have crossed over to MMA or kickboxing and maybe didn't? Or maybe tried it and it didn't go very far for them?
I think immediately you think of like the heavyweights because of the contact.
Right.
But I actually think there's quite a few more lightweights that could have done it a lot more. But when it's hard, like here's one I always thought that there was no freaking way that I thought this guy was going to be any good at full contact, which was Angel Huerta. Because of his point fighting style, I thought, dude, you ain't gonna last. Right?
You never saw him do continuous. So like when I grew up with Angel, he was the best at. Him and Matt Bowles were like killing each other and they're going at it, right? And so he was really good at MMA and kickboxing. He got a long string and then just, wanted to focus on his school more. So he switched it over to that. But man.
So I always kind of thought Damian Rodriguez would have been really good.
Okay.
Someone who I think like right now, if they wanted to, could do something would be Ryan George.
Yeah. Okay.
But
it depends on his wrestling.
It's a lifestyle change. It's not something you can touch into a little bit. And like, look at what Ross Levine did. Ross Levine knew that. He knew like this is going to be a lifestyle change. It's not going to be something I can kind of step in and step out. I think the only person we've ever really seen do that was Raymond. Step in and step out, full contact to point fighting so much.
Yeah, that's true.
But there's only one of him. So, I mean, I thought Damian would have been great. I think Ryan George, really could be great. I think it's not just the temperament, because like a calm, cool, and relaxed fighter could be great. And this one's going to sound nuts. I don't think he wants to. But I think with the right training, John Curatullo.
Okay. Yeah.
Because whether he's like, destroying a guy or he's getting destroyed, he's just the same.
Mm-hmm.
He's the same.
Right.
He doesn't go up and down, which we're going to talk about, that set match with Virtual Fight Tour later.
Correct.
But what about you?
So for me, kind of that same thing was Jack. You know what I mean? Jack was always he did a good job with the WCL. But his first MMA fight, I think the only one he did, it just didn't work out for him. He just
he did one. I didn't know he had one.
And so that was different for him. So I still think I don't know if he still wants to do that now. If he did, he probably would have kept going on with it. But I know he trains still, well-rounded stuff. So maybe some kickboxing or something. Another one, of course, I think is Brandon Bailu. This kid, which he fights. I've seen him. I know he was doing full contact about 4 or 5 years ago. I've seen some videos online of him doing kickboxing and stuff. And from what he's saying, he does some jiu-jitsu and wrestling and grappling. So interested seeing that him go at it. Angel was one that I thought was going to go to that next level.
You really thought it too.
Yeah. Well, and also I saw some of his fights online and things like that. The person to look out for, and I've said it before, is Bobby Cerronio the third. Bobby Cerronio, man, he just works his butt off. He's been a natural, but he's been high level wrestler, Kaju Kimbo, sport karate, continuous. He's done all the styles, and he has a great training camp. The other person who's killing it right now, who won her first or second pro fight, is Jerica Trias. She used to be on All Star and on Proper, and she works at the one. So Power of One, which is with Tara Van Duzen and Colin Van Duzen, who Raymond used to work at as well. So she trains with those people, the same kind of area, the same people. So she's in a great camp. And then there's Hope Chase, who fights for Invicta, and she was an NBL competitor, all-around competitor, won all rounds in point fighting and open forms and traditional. She's kind of done it all, kind of like a Colbey. And she is with Invicta, which just got signed a deal with Access TV. And they have been on the UFC network for a long time. So, and Invicta is an all-female. It's pretty much the only all-female MMA. And they have, like a good relationship with UFC. So it's kind of like if you get to a certain level, most of the time they're champions or people that they feel like are doing it, they move them over there.
The NCAA to the NBA or
right. So
it is. They're getting paid.
Well, yeah, they're getting paid. Yeah. So yeah. So I'm interested to see those. Those are ones that are actively doing right now. Leo Valdivia was someone who I thought was going to, and he did for a while. Just didn't continue.
He is one that has gone back and forth.
He's one that's gone back and forth. Yeah,
weird. And been good doing both.
Yeah, because for me, when he got picked up by Proper, I kind of thought he was done with point karate. I thought he was going to focus mostly on MMA, and then he went back and started doing more point fighting. So interesting to see, how the crossovers go. I think. What do you think are some of the things that could be maybe bad habits that we do in point fighting? That
defensive side kicks.
Yep, defensive side. I also think laid back hook kicks or even turning your head. When people do that.
That's got to be. You're right, but I mean, if that's something you even
think of doing, I know
is an option. Like
right,
you just throw in the towel before you start. Yeah. This is lean back hook kicks. What are we talking about?
My friend Ryan Freeman, he moved out to Vegas. He was on Team Boss years ago, and he fought on NBL and NASCA, and was a good continuous fighter, as well as point. But that was what he said. One of his biggest things was just, even just the little thing of stepping back and leaning back on your kicks and things like that to get the distance. You know what I mean?
It's so bad.
It puts you in a bad spot for the takedowns and stuff. So
I stopped throwing lean back hook kicks like when I was 18, and this happened at a local tournament, and there was no two ways about it. Like I stepped back, someone was throwing like a slide kick combo, and as soon as they stepped down to like follow up with their hands, I stepped back, threw the lean back hook kick, smacked them on the face, no big deal. But I'm stretched out so much they were like 4 inches taller than me, right? So you got to imagine where your head is at. I'm not quite Robbie Lavoie level at that point with my head down on the ground, but I'm leaning. So by the time I sat down, my back is 100% to them. Just the only way I wasn't going to fall.
Right.
And it wasn't his fault. He was in the motion of following up with his hands anyway.
Yeah.
My back turns completely to him, hits me in the brainstem. This is the first time I ever been knocked out. Hits me in the brainstem. I took one step and was going face first on a gym floor.
Oh.
And I was so lucky that I was at the corner ref, and he catches me right before I hit. Here's the effed up part, right? They catch me. Alex, you okay? Yeah, I'm all right. Oh, man, that was rough. All right, get out there and fight.
Yeah.
Fought that.
Yeah.
Won the division, won like a runoff fight. Totally don't remember the thing that happens. I'm fighting for like the grand, and I'm just standing there as someone is punching me in the face. And they're like, Alex, you okay? I'm like, yeah, let's start the fight. And they're like, oh, never mind. You're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's happened to me at a local tournament too, something similar, but mine was more
contact.
I know. It's crazy. Yeah, I mean, there's lots of people that have either done it. Years ago, we have Jeff Newton, who was a top fighter in California in the early 90s, mid 90s. And he actually had a UFC fight. I think maybe like 2002, maybe 2004, 2005. It was actually around when they started getting bigger, right?
Yeah.
And same thing with Jeff Joslin. Jeff Joslin was a sport karate fighter and innovator with the bow in Canada in the 90s on NBL. And he had a fight in the UFC. I think he fought Josh Koscheck or whatever. So, and he was in the UFC for a while in those earlier days. So, of course, we have Manny Reyes Jr., who's done a lot.
He's done every kind of combat.
Yeah, right, right. And I'm sure there's one we're forgetting.
Well, there is, because when you mentioned Jack, I'm like, well, shit, Hamid.
Yeah.
Hamid could have, should have done that. Right?
Yeah, he should have.
He just kind of looked at it and looked at what his desired lifespan was, and he's like, I just don't want to.
Right.
And here's another one I was thinking of was Brian Plemple. If Brian Plemple would have done the Ross Levine thing and just said, all right, I'm comfortable at this weight, but I'm going to cut down the middle, the dude would have been dangerous.
Well, and that's what he does. He's an MMA trainer. Like he has, that's what his school is. They do mixed martial arts. He has jiu-jitsu, wrestling. He's had 3 or 4 people fight in the UFC under him that he's took up.
And he's built up there doing that, knowing like, I could have, but he's like,
his problem was his knees. He had knee problems by that time. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was one of the things. I know Cass at one point was thinking about trying to start getting into that.
A lot easier swinging a golf club.
That's right. Not
as much fun.
Wonder Boy has a sport karate background, but he didn't do it as high of a level. But he focused more on the kickboxing. He did the WACO and the WKA, and so
he's got a legit, like American martial arts school.
Yeah,
right? I've seen his school. School looks dope.
Yeah, my cousin is a black belt in his school. So
get the heck out of here.
Yeah, and his nephew. And his son. Sorry. Yeah.
Wait a minute.
My cousin and his son both have black belts at his school. So,
Jeff.
What?
Get him on the show. You were just.
I know.
You're telling me this in private. You're telling me this on the show. Everybody chime in. Tell Jeff to get Wonder Boy on the show.
I know.
Hey, and he's got a fight coming up, so we got to get him on the show. Get him on the show.
All right, I'll work on that, and if not, I'll have to go through the Spences and we'll
family with black belts in his freaking school. Yeah, get him on the show. What the heck is wrong with you?
Oh man, yeah, pretty cool stuff. But anyway, so that's kind of our MMA talk tonight. I mean, I thought it was fun to start off. Yeah, we don't get to talk about that much. So, let's talk about the fights from the weekend though, because they were great. Did you saw them? Did you watch them?
I had to go back and watch some of them.
Okay, right. So
who did you want in the Usman Masvidal fight?
Honestly, it was weird for me. Like I just thought I wanted Masvidal in the first one, right? And then after what happened that one, I'm just kind of like, I kind of want to see Usman finish him,
I was kind of thinking the same, but
I just want to see his legacy soar, So
Masvidal's got a certain badassery that I'm like,
I love it.
Go for it. Yeah. Well, I'll ride this train.
Yeah.
Holy crap.
Man. I just felt like, all right, all these guys, and I watched a few of just their training with Trevor Whitman, and they did some different things before that, and just all of those guys are just so good, because him and Rose trained the same school, the same place, and so is Justin Gaethje. All those guys are amazing. So Rose, I was pumped up for that. She was always one of my favorite fighters. And just for her to beat someone who's, everyone thought that fight was probably going to go pretty long, right? And she caught her with the perfect round kick that was just in that.
With a point fighting technique. That's what she did.
It was great.
With one that typically a good point fighter would do in reverse.
Yeah.
So she did what she faked a back leg round and did a quick switch to a front leg round.
Yeah.
A lot of times point fighters will do the opposite. They'll go from like an open stance, they'll throw their front leg, get someone to move to the front side, switch,
and then round with the other.
Yeah. I know I've done it plenty of times.
Yep.
Right? But when you watch that, you gotta be like, how do you not love point fighting now?
Right.
Literally, it's like one of the go-to moves.
It is. Yeah, that was great. I love watching I can't think of her. Balashenko. She was great.
I didn't watch that one.
And yeah, and even just the way that he parried that hand, he pushed that hand out of the way and then dropped him. again, that's, I know that's boxing and everything, but we
Sure.
get a lot of that in point fighting as well. It's the check, it's the push down, it's, so it's pretty cool stuff, man.
I really appreciate and love how MMA today has really evolved.
Oh
It's
yeah.
really evolved to the point where it's like, I mean, you can't just have 1 to 2 to 3 things that you're pretty good at. I mean, it's everywhere. And the striking, it's got back up. Everybody's on their feet for the most part. I mean, we did just watch a tap out, right?
Yeah.
But the striking game is fantastic. The kicking game is fantastic. The movement, everything, so good.
It's evolved. Yep. If you guys are just joining us, Colbey just won her MMA fight, tapped out first round, maybe 2.5 minutes in, maybe 3 minutes, something like that. So congratulations to her. Let's go ahead and let's talk about the virtual fight tour. You want to go ahead and talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about virtual fight tour. Yeah.
So May 29th, we got, how many fights have they announced? 3, 4, maybe? They just announced another today too. So
yeah.
So we got, all right, let's see. The first one that they announced was Brandon Belu versus Brayan, right? Yeah. Brandon versus Brayan. And that's going to be awesome.
Versus Brayan Rodriguez. Yes.
Yes. That's going to be a great fight. Brayan, he's just getting back to going, because I think he competed a tournament this weekend, maybe the last weekend, and the weekend before that. So he's just getting back into competing again.
Doing the right things. He's going through as much as he can. I will say that.
Yeah, he's in a good area to do that. Not everyone's in a great area where there's tournaments every weekend. There are in Florida. So I was wondering before, I kind of thought he was done because he wasn't going to all those tournaments. And I was just seeing him going to them and just judging. So now he's back going. But Brandon is on a roll, man. And so this is going to be an interesting fight. I'm excited for it. The next one is another straight up, Romani versus Jamal Albini. This is going to be great.
That's going to be a good one.
I'm excited for it. I think both guys are pumped up and ready. Jamal is, after what happened with the pro point, I think he's ready to keep going, you know what I mean? And get back into it. He's had some time off, and this guy's in great shape. He works out for a living, right? So there you go.
I mean, like I said before, when he was doing the pro point, like you look at Jamal and he looks like he ate all the anabolic steroids. Like the guy looks, like his earlobes got muscles,
It's true. And Romani, he was on a roll, ready to go get back into it. He looked pretty good on his first VFT one. He was real fast, but he kind of let him get back into it, making some mistakes and stuff. So I'm interested to see. But then he got better at that of Atlanta, So I'm interested to see how it goes, or he went the other. I don't know, but yeah, he's continuing to improve and evolve. I really like. I've always liked him as a competitor from was a junior and to now. So
I mean, yeah, I first knew him. It was just the kid on straight up with sleeveless uniform doing forms.
Yeah. We were talking about that a few weeks ago.
This kid is the business.
Yeah.
Right. And then you see him fight, and you're like, oh, all right, you're pretty good. Then you see him really tear into people, and you're like, okay, you're gonna be here a while.
Everybody, what do you guys? If you watched Colbey's fight, what did you think? And what do you guys? Which fight are you looking most forward to for the virtual fight tour? So
there's a couple of women that are going to be fighting again. There's Alexa Fleshman versus Peyton Fender.
Yeah, so Alexa's been fighting a lot lately. She took some years off as well. She is from my town, actually. She's from Lynchburg, Virginia. She's originally under the school that I start out under as well, but she trains with Sean and Gina. So she has got a great camp, and she looks in great shape. She's been fighting. I think she won at Marty Eubanks' event. She won at I think she won at maybe North Georgia Open. or she did about 2 or 3 tournaments in a row, and been traveling around that area. Maybe it was Memphis Open that she won. Maybe that's what it was. But she's been fighting and been competing. And then Peyton Fender was on. She's part of Velocity and is down there in Florida, so she has several events to work on and compete at. And she was part of the Tension versus Clouden show before. So
right,
yeah.
So she's not a stranger to
the cage. So that's
cage.
Yep.
Which I think is a really cool way to have this thing broadcasted.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's real cool. Then
we got the team fight.
Yes, there we go. I knew there was one more. So the team fight. So we got the Dumlaus. So 2 from the Dumlaus school. Actually, both of them are Dumlaus.
QJ and I am blanking on.
Yeah, I don't have it in front of me.
Look it up if you can. And then we versus KTOC of
Drew Beatty,
and John Curtillo.
Yep.
So I've seen QJ fight before. This dude's got all the talent.
Mm-hmm. I mean, those guys, man, they really know how to do it.
Yeah.
Sean Dumlau and everyone, has a great training crew down there. I mean, that's where Jamal came from. So
yeah.
I mean, those guys are doing great. Huh?
So, well, up there. Yeah. All right. No,
but that's where he was from. He started at his school. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've never really seen. Tell me if you could find the female's name from Dumlau's game, because I literally was saying it to myself this morning. I knew
Alyssa Dumlau.
Alyssa Dumlau. Okay.
Yeah, and then Quinlan Pastor.
I've not seen her fight before. I know, Drew. She's probably not a better kicker than Drew.
Right.
So she's gonna have to have great footwork. Which
she does. Yeah,
they do. All right. She's gonna have to have great timing, which they do. But I mean, Drew just looks like she's only been training more and more.
Yeah.
So as long as she's able to keep her leg going the way it typically does and can set it up, not just like, all right, set up your hands. That's
right.
That's easy. That's the easy way to say it, but our game is a little bit more complex than that. Right?
Yeah.
Definitely. How you're doing it, where you're positioning it, all that stuff is super important. So she's very mindful of all of those things, right? I think she could have a really good fight. I don't like to bet against John Curtillo against other lightweights.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And he's active right now, I mean, he's been really active. So
the only time when you look at John Curtillo against other lightweights is if you're like, all right, it's Robbie Lavoie, and you're like, what the?
Yeah.
We didn't beat Robbie.
Yeah.
Right? So you're like, I just don't like to bet against John Curtillo against other lightweights. It's just if you look at the dude's history, he just keeps freaking winning.
Yep.
He just doesn't stop. Like he's been and he's got to be 30 now, right? I think he's got it. He's got to be. He's a dad. He's a new dad, right? So he's been from the late Full Circle days, right? Mm-hmm. I think he was on the last year that Full Circle was.
Yeah.
And then he's been a Conroy teammate ever since.
That,
he was on the Hayabusa experience, the most consistent fighter.
Oh yeah.
The most. He was one.
Yeah, after that first year,
he won everything. All right.
I would say that. What's his name? I can't think of his name. That from Quebec. Lightweight as well. He moved on to WKF later on. I can't think of his name right now.
I can't add it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Jeremy Francoeur.
Yes, Jeremy Francoeur. He was really consistent when the team first started. You know what I mean? And then that next year, I agree. But yeah, and those guys to me are just similar, like weight classes and everything. So
yeah, I mean they're both very consistent fighters.
Yeah.
And Jeremy is one of the better kickers in the world right now, just because he does very unique things, even though it looks like his leg just pumps. It doesn't just pump.
No.
He does some things that stop you from being able to kick with him, and does some things that stop you from being able to challenge it, and he covers ground really quick. John will tell you he's not a good kicker.
Yeah.
He kicks all the freaking time.
Yeah.
I was stretching next to him for a tournament, and he was like, "Oh yeah, dude, you can do the splits. I can't do the splits." Like, what are you talking about? Like, everybody can. And he's like, "Oh no, I can't." And then there was like a bunch of people next to like, "Oh, I can't. I'm like, "What are you talking about? You're black belt. You can do the splits. Stop."
Right.
He's like, "No."
It's funny to me when I know like kickers that can't do the splits. Like Sean Elliott was someone like that. Sean Elliott had one of the fastest front legs, one of the best, always kick people in the head. Said he never could do the splits. I'm like, what? I mean, I guess technically you don't really have to.
No, you don't have to.
But, you know. But
I just remember I was always kind of able to because I worked my ass off to do it, you know? Yeah. And then I remember being at a tournament one time, was one of my rookie-ish years out. And I remember just seeing a group of really talented martial artists. And they were just sitting around talking, and all of them were in the splits. And I just remember having that mindset, like, yeah, of course. I mean, in order to do anything, like, you got to be, and nobody was affected. They were just kind of sitting there in the splits.
Yeah.
So if I could do it, and I felt like that was like, we're not getting to first base if you don't have that.
Yeah.
Right? So when he said, "Oh no, I can't even do the splits," I'm like, "Shut up, get out of here." Yeah, he can't. And then it was like a bunch of people around me, like I was the only one.
Yeah.
And then people started telling me, like, I don't know about do you agree with this, Jeff? When people are like, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't stretch before you compete."
We've talked about this before. No, I mean, I have to stretch, but there's different ways that you stretch. So depends on what you're doing. But, you know, the dynamic stretching is really what you need to do. But what we do, it's like different because you're sitting around all day. So you need to kind of do that type of stretching. And then when you're about ready to go, do more of a dynamic stretch because that's what's going to get you going. But you need to stay loose. So
I can't get my leg up to the height where I need to if I don't.
If you don't, yeah, I understand. All right, and the other thing announced was the forms draft, which we've been saying this for a while. We want to see that, and so really excited to see what's going to happen, who's going to be in the coaches, what everyone's role is going to be. You know,
I want to know the dynamic.
And again, I don't know much about it. I just got tagged. That's about it. So, you know, I'm hopefully I'll be involved somehow. Probably just commentating, but I'm excited to hear about, you know, what's gonna happen.
Well, like, let's just okay, so we don't know what it is, so let's just make up our own rules for a moment.
All right.
Let's say we know what it is. Let's say our opinion matters. All right.
There we go.
So let's say you got to get like a male and a female. Let's take ages out of it right now because it would be just too much, right? And let's just say you got to have a male, a female of like each category, like traditional, weapons, and then CMX, right? And you got to have a male and a female on your team, 3.
Right.
Like, if we were to draft based off of people today. You want to do it real quick? This impromptu right off the head?
Yeah, sure. We do this a lot, I feel.
Let's go paper, rock, scissors. Let's see who wins.
You go first. You go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Take a Sammy Smith.
Okay. And so I can pick whoever, right?
You can pick whoever.
Jackson's going to be in the booth with me, so he doesn't count. So
I assumed he.
Yeah. I'm going to go. I'm going. Why am I having a blank on names right now? Connor Chesney. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
So that would be. See, that's the thing. I don't know where to put. You know, with him, I'd probably put him in.
That's the same thing that I could do with Sammy.
Right. So you got to put him wherever. Yeah. Kind of like when we had our draft before. All right, go. Next one.
Take Ariel Torres.
All right. There you go.
But see, now I gave you the other one.
But he won't be in there. He'll be in the Olympics, so
he won't
take that one back.
I gotta take it back. All right, I'll take it back, and I gotta pick some.
Hey, congrats to Ariel Torres. He got sponsored by Got Milk for the Olympics. He's
Shut
in
up.
the
For real?
he's in the Got Milk campaign, which is huge. So yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty awesome.
All right. I can't take him. I'm going to take in Rashad.
Oh, all right. I'm going to go Joey Castro then.
I knew that. There you go. Layup. Okay.
Wait. It should be my turn now. It should be like the snake draft, right? We didn't ever do that.
Why? We'll just go back and forth. All right.
All right. Who's next?
Are we going to do male, female, or are we just going to do? Let's just do one for each of them.
Sure, whatever. I have 2 people right now.
Yes, we need 3.
4, yeah.
4. How we need 4? CMX,
Never mind. Just keep going.
traditional, and weapons, right?
All right, sure.
All right. So
weapons.
And traditional weapons.
Yeah,
that's
so
right.
We got 8. All right, let's go.
Right. Okay.
Come on, Alex. Who are you gonna pick, man?
Alan Davies.
All right, so you have Rashad and Alan Davies and Sammy Smith. All right. I have Connor, Joey, and Noel. No, sorry. Sorry, Noel. I'm going back. Haley Glass.
So you took Haley instead of Noel.
Yeah.
Well, I'm taking Noel.
All right, that's fine. I should.
Okay, so I'll take. All right, so I'll take.
So who's going to be your?
We're doing male and female.
Right. Who's going to be your tradition? Oh, okay. I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying? So
I still have another.
Right.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
Noel will be my female CMX. Sammy will be my weapon. All right.
Your CMX weapon. Okay. Got it.
CMX weapon. All right.
Got it.
All right. And then I got Alan Davies. He'll be my CMX form
or weapon.
Right. And then Rashad will be my CMX weapon.
All right.
That's pretty good. That's why I just got those 4 right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I have nobody who does any kind of traditional anything so far.
Not really.
No. All right.
Pick somebody.
I'm going to take Mason Stowell.
Oh, that was a really good one. Dang, I was trying to think, man, who?
I knew we were leaving it out there, but I couldn't leave it too long. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm still thinking of certain of those people in the other realm, not really. So, let's see. Man, I need a female traditional, so that's a tough one right now.
Yeah. Tough for me too.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
I know what I'm going to take.
Yeah. I'm always going to go with Daniela for my female traditional. So Daniela Barrientos. So I'm going with her.
I'm going to take Gabrielle Dunn.
Yeah. Cool. I knew. Yeah. You already got it. Did you get one? No, I did because that was the other one I would take. So.
All right. So it was on the forefront.
Yeah. Right. Now what do I have left? See, this is the hard part.
You got some.
Yeah. Traditional weapons is kind of the part where it's like
I don't know how to do that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not very good.
Do
we have to do that?
We don't have to do that, I guess.
We don't have to do that.
Yeah, we don't have to do that.
Nobody wants to watch it.
So where are we at? I don't even know what number we're at. See, we're terrible at this.
I got Mason, Gabrielle, Rashad, and Sammy. Alan Davies, and then Noel and Sammy. Okay. I think I'm done.
No, you said one of those twice. You said Noel twice.
I did?
Yeah. But all right, so I have
I think my team's full.
I have Connor, I have Joey, I have Haley Glass, I have Daniela. I've only done 4. So you've done 5, yeah. Who do I have? I need a CMX female and a weapons male, I guess.
That's what.
Or a CMX male. Yeah. So I'm going to go Danny Ekin.
All right, that was pretty good.
And then so we're at 5. So we need one more. So yeah, because I have 2 females right now. All right, go. You got
Jake Presley.
Jake. Okay.
Yeah, not Reed. Jake.
Yeah.
Reed, he ain't gonna do nothing more.
But Jake's in movies, man, right now. So
Come on, for real?
I know. Yeah.
I gotta get another one. All right, I gotta get another one.
Jake wants to do stuff though. Jake would actually be doing this. I think he wants to do this though. Talking to
I
Jackson.
already got my weapons guy. I already got my weapon guy, don't I?
Yeah.
What am I doing? So who do I got? I got from my female CMX.
I think you may have 6.
Noelle.
My
female weapon is Sammy.
Then your traditionals, Gabrielle.
Gabrielle. Okay.
Then you have Rashad
for weapon,
and then Alan
Davies.
You don't have a traditional. Oh, Mason. Yeah, so you have 6.
Full. I'm done.
How did I only get 5?
I don't know. You might have had another pick in there. This is going to be
anyway. So if we're ever doing this, like, we need a chart. We're not very good at keeping track.
I have a good team. I got a good team.
You do have a good team. You have a good team. I don't even know what my team is. So
you have because you got Joey. That's who you forgot about.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I have Joey. Joey's my traditional.
You should have drafted yourself.
No, I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good. Yeah, man. So there's, I think this is going to be fun. I don't know, how they're going to do it. I think keeping it.
Do it like we did, though. That was fun.
Yeah, I think keeping it though open though to where, I don't know. I mean, where you can just be like, hey, I'm going to throw this person, put whoever you want to. Kind of the way that we did our draft last year. Where,
Dude, fun.
I'm going to throw out Jeff, but for traditional.
I want to all do that again, but I want us to all do that again and have like set judges.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right. These are going to be our, or whatever, 8 people, whoever we decide. They're going to be the ones casting the vote. Should be an odd number, right?
Right.
They're going to be the ones who cast the vote for this.
Did you see Sammy's post today about she tagged us in it, us 2 in it?
Yes.
I think you commented. I read most of it, and so let's talk about it since this is kind of like what we talked about on the show too,
Yeah.
And I think I even talked about that. I actually had a post, like maybe because it came up in my feed last week, and it was just saying, I hope that 2 things get better out of this. That people get creative and that. Their basics get better. I said something like that out of this pandemic because they should be able to work their strikes and their basics more now than ever, especially in a tight space. Yeah. And you have time to think and get creative, and not feel like, well, I got to do this to win. And let me just try to get this better and better and better. No, just come up with what you want to do, what you want to present. Right. And that was pretty much what she was saying.
Right. I don't think the creativity is going to get better, and I'll explain why.
All right, go.
Because a few people commented in there like, I hope it does this. I hope they don't all look the same. So many people, they kind of contribute and help other people do that. So they kind of look like, derivatives of that person's form, which is true to some degree. Right. I don't think the creativity is gonna make a big jump, with the exception of maybe a handful of people. And the reason why is because. Because sometimes we get these creative ideas when we're in a big environment and we're watching like, oh, this person just did one move. I'm going to take that. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to do something totally different. I'm not going to tell anybody, right?
But that hasn't happened since the mid-2000s, kind of like what we were talking about.
Exactly.
And so that's kind of an issue.
But there was something that did improve drastically from that point, which was, and some people were commenting on our post, it could have even been Sammy, I can't remember because it's not in front of me, was that the techniques have gotten to a level of dang near perfection. I mean, we're talking dang near perfection. If you would take a 3rd place form in a division from now, take that 10 years ago, you're winning the overall. Right? I mean, take it back. You can take a 4th place form from now, take it back 15 years ago, you would think that's the greatest form you've ever seen in your life. And forms should be kind of leveling up like that. They pretty much are as far as, the performance. But the creativity and really, this sounds bad to say, but even just like the way that we're tricking, right? Not
Yeah.
what the trick is. The difficulty, sure, that's definitely going up. But it's almost like that one just stopped and like the perfection just kept getting better and better. So it is a little strange.
So I look at it, actually, I think some things need to be taken back some. I think the intention of the techniques needs to be shown more. And so I look at things as like a creative form should kind of tell a story, right? And because that's what you're doing. You're telling a story of a fight. And so I think I want to see more of that. I think things try to get so fast that we kind of lose like the intention of the technique. So I like to see that more. You know, I like to see more facial expressions. We don't see that as much anymore. I'd love to see more presence. You know, so I think this time when you have to actually look at yourself when you record these videos you're doing and everything else, you can tell what you're doing. And so I hopefully that will work, you know. I don't know. And I know that when you first get out there after not being out like it's going to be a rush, you know what I mean? Just like with, again, go back to pro wrestling, but these guys, you know, have been doing for over a year now, wrestling with no audience, right? Then they had WrestleMania. They had 25,000 people there. And they're like, this is crazy. This is, you know, it's like, this is what we do, you know? And you just saw a huge difference on how that crowd really, you know, really lifted them up. So those that haven't been competing, get out there and start competing. I'm excited. Hopefully we have a couple coming up. And
so Beth, did you ever, when you were like trying to come up with new forms, right, new performances, did you ever go back and watch tapes from like years and years before?
Yeah, of other people or me?
Other people.
Yeah. Well, I always did. You
kind of would do that in general, but I mean, when you're really just kind of like, you know what, I don't know why, but I'm just like, this section is not what it should be.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just sit back and watch like the Battle of Atlanta from 1994. You know?
Yeah. I would. I would do that just to get me motivated to. A lot of it would just get me back in that time of like wanting to create. You know what I mean? Which for me, it hasn't been that hard, but it still is tough sometimes because I limit myself on what I do. Right. So I need to find new ways to do that. So while still keeping it in my style. So it's a little different for me to just find different little things. But there's so many old school type moves that we can add into what we do and make it creative. You know, like I've been working all kinds of different stuff with, you know, I know you don't like this, but the punch and the side kick and doing like a 360 in the air and then hit that, you know, which
I actually would probably love to
do
that right now.
You know, and doing, you know, I did some stuff of that before during the summer of doing that and then into some other techniques. So it's pretty cool. Just different things to get motivation.
Can I tell you a move that we all saw decades ago, got used to death, and I hope it comes back?
What? Oh my God! Stop!
The fireball.
You know it is.
It comes back.
You know it is because of Mortal Kombat.
That's what I was talking about.
Oh my God!
Because the Mortal Kombat just came back out.
I like to see more scissor kicks, man. I want to see more scissor kicks, and with creative ways of doing it. So
I think the last time I saw one was, I think Jeff Spriggo did one in like 2002. I think that's the last time I saw one.
Remember Steven So? He did one, and then a couple other people done them. I had some of my students do them. So we don't just do them like regular. We did it with a combo and stuff, you know. So you do that and then some out of it. So because I used to do the scissor kick and then I would land pop 720, which was pretty cool. It was hard to do.
But there's some Taekwondo films that have like scissor kicks in there. I think Chung Mu even has like the
it's a run jump side kick. Yeah, run jump side
kick. Yeah, it's a scissor side kick. It's hard to do at first. It's fun.
Juche has a scissor kick in it. And it's weird though, because you have to land like this in like a horse stance. It's difficult. But
these high level Taekwondo forms are fun to do, fun to watch. That's what we should see more of.
Yes.
I want to see more high-level Taekwondo forms.
Working on that.
I love them, and I admittedly am not great at most of them. I'm very good at Gaebek, but let's be honest. Like I'll say I got the best Gaebek that there is, but which is why I was any good could even place in Korean forms because everybody did that form.
Right.
If you want to be the best, just do that form. That's all you got to do, which is kind of cheating, right?
Yeah. We're going to get, I think next week, we got a couple ideas for next week. So, and I hadn't even approached Alex with this yet, but we're going to keep up with our forum, our kind of roundtable format. So we're going to have 2 guests and kind of go back and forth on some things. So I have an idea since next week is, a certain holiday. So, we may do something there. Just give me a little teaser. And then we have some other future ones we're going to be doing, we're going to talk about the best juniors ever. That's going to be coming up over the next month.
Yeah.
Having some of the past junior competitors on that maybe stuck with it or didn't. And then we've had some promoters. I know we have several of our group that were in before that want to do a part 2. So we have that coming up. And we also want to do a sport karate school one. We talked about having Jesse on and having some other school owners on and doing that. Yeah. So we got lots of cool stuff coming up, and we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. I know it was a different one. We started a little early, but congratulations again to Colbey Northcutt Daniels. Just so awesome, man.
That was a good, quick fight.
And here's the deal: she wasn't beat up or nothing, so she'll be ready to go soon.
No, I didn't even see the shot, but apparently she must have got a good leg kick, like right to the side.
Yeah, you see that bruise. You see that.
And I'm like, I didn't even see the shot.
Right. So,
hey, you know what, insiders? Let us know who you'd love to see. If you were like, hey, you guys got to get Mike Pombiero back on the show, I'd love to do that because I want to do that again. Show. As soon as we were done with that, we knew that's the best show we've ever done. Right?
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, we've had some awesome ones, man. So
yeah, but if there's people that we've never had on, you've always thought would be great, let us know.
Let us know. Again, one more time, virtual fight tour, May 29th. It's going to be great, and I'm sure there's a couple more announcements coming out soon. So,
you have any prediction? Who are you predicting in that team fight?
I'd have to go with K-Talk on that one.
I'm going to go with K-Talk.
Yeah. But I think Dumb Louds bring a lot of just a different element that we're not used to. So I'm excited to see that.
I mean, I haven't really seen John come back from like a major deficit.
Right.
Because most of his wins, he doesn't do it like that in team fights. Right? Mm-hmm. But hey, I don't know how this is gonna go. Drew, obviously, she's got the ability because kicks are worth 2, and she kicks more than anybody. Right?
Yep, that's right. So, pretty exciting, man. Thank you guys so much for watching, and share it, get on it, comment if you're just getting on now. Comment, in the past. We'll get with your comments. Don't worry about that.
What kind of plans you got for the weekend?
Yep.
What kind of plans you got for the weekend?
Oh, all right. So it's my mom's birthday over the weekend.
Oh my God, I didn't even know
that. Yeah. I have 2 belt tests this weekend.
Wow.
And I have my kids have a lot of stuff that I have to help take them back and forth to. So lots of things going on.
Damn.
How about you?
I'm gonna take the kids roller skating.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. Dee Everett?
Yeah.
Dee Everett, Katana's mom?
Yeah.
She's like an avid like roller skater, right? Not like Blade, roller skates, right? So
Thank you, Mike.
What was it? So there's this roller rink called the Roller Gardens, St. Louis Park, Minnesota. They're closing May 8th.
Wow.
Right? They're closing their doors. They've been around for decades and decades. Been around long before I was ever alive. Right? So everybody who's ever really kind of grown up skating in Minnesota, you've gone to the Roller Gardens at some point. So my mom was telling me about it, like, oh yeah, so we would go in high school, or like when you went there in high school, get the heck out of here.
Wow.
But people are closing those shops up. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go take the kids roller skating.
That's cool.
You know, if they all start getting closed, you know, they'll never have that. They'll have never done that. They're not gonna remember, but at least I can say that they did.
Yeah,
you know
no, that's cool, man. Yeah, that's sad seeing a lot of these businesses close up, man.
I mean, when it wasn't bringing in everybody, you know, before it was closed down. There was like special days, you know.
Okay.
I don't even think they have air conditioning.
You don't need air conditioning in one of them. Come on, man.
What?
Come on. Old school. Come on. Suck it up.
Get the heck out of here. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week. Have a good weekend.